Show your courage. Does that hurt?
The redemption.
I'm okay. Lend me your strength. Stand still. Nap time. Steady. Troublesome. Right! Investing in victory means playing the long game!
Judgment is here. Retribution.
Didn't hurt. Time to say bye. Boom. Lend me your strength. To guard and defend. Crush them. Relax.
For your sins.
Just a little something. Think nothing of
I've lost my way.
it. Lend me your strength. Time to say bye. Boom.
Purge initiated.
I'm okay.
Executing operation.
Bad.
Prayers won't help you.
Stand still.
Push forward. Value exceeds threshold.
The redemption.
Didn't hurt.
Evaluating variables.
Lend me your strength. Troublesome. To guard and defend. Crush them. Liquidation! Right! Investing in victory means playing the long game!
Executing annihilation. Calculating result.
Steady.
I'll be waiting till we make it the day to celebrate. I'll be waiting till we make.
Is there anything interesting here? I doubt it.
Wheel-tide spring.
Everything okay? Huh? Why is D-Ting talking to you? I've always been nice to cute little animals. Of course I understand. All cute things in the world share the first time we met D-Ting was during the Kafka hunt. I could tell there was a mysterious connection between us. Whenever he barked, I understood. For example, woof woof, woof 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 woof. Meaning, hello dear, I found a strange thing at the port of Cloudford. You may want to come and have a look for your... Hey, enough with the passive aggression. The simple truth of the matter is that I can understand. So what did D-Ting find at the port? Come on, let's go check. Little D-Ting says he's been dutifully searching for clues all over the Xianzhou. He notified us as soon as he found something. So what does he want us to take a look at?
This is Yanqing, retainer to General. I'm in active pursuit of a fugitive. The situation is unpredictable and developing rapidly. So I planted this Jade Tracer to record my... If anyone finds this tracer, please take it to the seat of divine foresight, so the cloud...
Ah, so it's a recording device. Diting must have heard its signal and called us over here to investigate. You can't disqualify him just for being a little baby. If he's the General's retainer, we're not that old ourselves, right? And yet here we are. Given everything that's been happening on the Xianzhou recently, I reckon the only fugitive worthy of a retainer's attention would be a Stellaron hunter.
Blade tracking entry. Traces run cold at Starskiff Haven. I'll have to ask the Cloud Knights in the area if they saw any. Captain, could you spare him?
Yanqing? Why are you all the way out here on the front?
The General already has a lot on his plate. As his retainer, it's nothing new to report,
Correct. After this Blade escaped from the shackling prison, he
Or perhaps he had no intention of...
What foul demons found their way across the star?
That's why I'm here. To help the General...
Is that so?
This is a...
Then shall we dispatch a few knights for this operation?
I appreciate the gesture, but the fewer people who know about making a big show of it will only scare the snake deeper into the grass. A good hunter must operate alone. Dispatch a few knights? Huh. How incapable does he think I am? I might be young now, but just you wait. The perimeter is well guarded, but there are no traces of the fugitive passing through. It seems he has no intention of... If the side crane hadn't been damaged, we could have extracted some footage. The Master Diviner is always boasting about her foresight. Didn't manage to foresee this disaster, did she? The Skyfaring Commission really made a mess of this. Who knows if we'll ever find all these missing ships? Starskiffs are blocked from entering or exiting. There's no way the fugitive... But if he fled toward the interior of the ship, it'll be hard to track... a fugitive would still have to rely on Starskiffs to... If we start by investigating the Starskiff he stole, guess it's back to the docks again. Bad writing, terrible pacing. Wait! What was I supposed to be doing again? Focus, Yanqing. Looks like the influence of the Stellaron spirits is growing.
Blade and flight! Time to twirl! This big diamond! It's all yours! Time to twirl!
What's this? This kind of wound is not the work of a Cloud Knight. The best prey is one that leaves trace. Here, Jingliu. Let's follow the scent. Civilians are still getting attacked? Where are the Cloud Knights? Hey, don't panic! Strike with heart! Time to twirl!
Lend me your strength.
Blade and flight! Time to twirl! I won't break. Hey! This big diamond! It's all yours! Time to twirl! Strike with heart!
Huh? They were on their feet a second ago.
Thank you for your assistance, young man.
Just doing my job. The port has been sealed off. Why are you here alone?
I came with a merchant ship. The shadows of old friends have returned to my thoughts of late. I came. Who would have imagined the Luofu could become...
You chose a bad time to visit, I'm afraid. There's been an incident. It won't take long for the General to fix it, though. This place isn't safe. We should head to the nearest Cloud Knight garrison. By the way, did you see a man with long hair and black clothes around here? You can't see? Apologies. I thought... My name is Yanqing. I'm registered with the Cloud Knights. And your name is?
Jingliu.
Nice to meet you. Miss Jingliu? Allow me to lead the way. We might have to take a bit of a detour, but I promise to get you to the Cloud Knight safely.
Where exactly are we headed, young man?
To the docks. Don't worry. So, are you from one of the other Xianzhou ships? The Yaoqiang? The Fanghu?
I'm from the Xiangcheng.
The Songcheng? There's a ship called the Songcheng? Why haven't I? Miss Jingliu, how long has it been since you last said...
Are you always this talkative?
Just making conversation. I wanted you... Let's get going, miss.
Where do we go from here?
Shh, quiet. We've got trouble. Wait here a moment, miss. I'll be right... Shift the balance. Who are you and what are you doing here? Swords descend.
You've come at the perfect time, little one. You could use your blood to irrigate the celestial traces.
Little one? This little one is about to teach you a... Where did these guys come from? Huh, the General was right. There's a threat lurking on the Xianzhou.
You are quite the sword master, young man.
You saw that?
I heard it. A sword whistles through the air and rings out upon contacting the enemy. Whilst invisible to the... As a musician listens to the notes of a song, so a poet listens to its rhyme. And in the flow of combat, a skilled swordmaster delivers both with their blade.
Thanks,
However, your zealousness inhibits your ability, which causes your sword's song to become...
I guess the connection between music and swordplay is real after all. The General told me something similar. He said my swordplay was too proud and angular. He said it lacked the...
Sword champion. If I recall correctly, that title is bestowed...
Right! Ever since the sedition of Imbibitor Lunae, the title of Sword Champion has gone unclaimed. But once everything settles down and the combat art ceremony returns...
The Cloud Knights have many martial arts traditions.
I see you're no stranger to the art. I won't keep you in suspense. My master is none other than General Jingliu.
General.
I know you haven't visited for a long time, but surely you've heard of General Jingliu. He says he has no affinity with the sword, that his skills are getting rusty. Well, all right, the coast is clear. Let's... The Starskip voyage log can be accessed through the dock navigator array. Active star skiff. There! This one goes past the Divination Commission and the Artisanship. Well, my work here is finished. Now to make sure...
Given the present circumstances, the Cloud Knight garrison...
Correct. So we're not going there. I'm taking you to the shackling prison. Safe, well-guarded, plenty of food, and a place to sleep.
Young man, if you wish to apprehend someone, shouldn't you have a reason?
Suspicious behavior and half-truths. Those alone are reason enough. You think you can fool me just because I'm a child? A sealed-off port with a stranded passenger? Unlikely. Not to mention you walking the whole way here without so much as a stumble. You can see as well as I can. The biggest giveaway was your comment about my swordplay. Correctly guessing the number of swords from the sound alone? Tuh, you'd have to be... You're not blind at all, are you?
I never claimed to be. You came up with that yourself. Fear not, young man. I hold no grievance against you, and have never held ill intent towards the Xianzhou. The black veil covering my eyes is merely proof of my resolve to never look back. To never fall again into Mara. I came here to catch one person. It's quite...
The one you're looking for. Is it... Blade?
He goes by Blade nowadays. A fitting name for someone who dedicated his mind and body to the... Take me to him, young man. You are no match for me, and therefore, no match for Blade either. Let me accompany you. There is no need to throw your life away.
We've not even drawn swords yet, and you declare yourself the winner? Let me offer you a word of advice. Don't
I was hoping to avoid a conflict with the Cloud Knights. How about this? Let's have ourselves a little contest. We can use the abominations that have infested the Luofu as target practice, and see whose sword can slay more and slay faster.
And if I win?
Then I will obediently follow you to the shackling prison and receive whatever judgment awaits me there. But if I win, you have to share Blade's whereabouts with me.
A Cloud Knight never gambles with official business. But in any case, you won't beat me.
I admire your confidence. But what was it you said earlier about It would seem we've cleared every abomination from the area. Let's find another location and continue our contest. May the best swordmaster win. This place is brimming with Mara, the perfect environment for honing one's skills. Surely slaying abominations doesn't...
How do we tell who's won?
We go from here to the end of the path without leaving a speck of abomination behind us. The first
Deal.
lead the way.
What if you're just using this as a chance to escape?
Jingliu trained you, all right?
Shift the balance. Show me what you got.
Strike the part. Time to twirl. Hey! This big diamond! It's all yours! Time to twirl! To guard and defend! Crush them! Lend me your strength! Blade and flight!
Where did she go? I didn't even see you overtake me.
Too slow, young man.
But how is that possible?
What kept you this time? You'll need to work harder. Otherwise, you won't even catch me in a star skiff. I haven't had this much fun in a long time. A long time has passed since I wielded this sword. The heat of combat. Come, young man. I'll let you finish up. I'll let you make 3 moves. Draw your sword. Don't you know it's rude to keep an elder waiting?
Strike the part!
Hesitant. Weak. What happened to that confidence of yours? My turn. Once you draw your sword, you must strike down your adversary in one...
Enough!
Try harder.
Swords descend! Strike with heart!
Your final move was the only one that didn't disappoint.
I lost?
Our contest has not yet come to a conclusion. For I have yet to make my final move. And the field has no opponent. Unsheathing this sword without merit is to blaspheme the divine will of the Rainbow Arbiter. And invite calamity.
You...
Even with your strength, if you were to cross paths with Blade, it would mean death. I can give you a more dignified end than dying at his hands. To die as a swordmaster, having witnessed. What say you to that, young man? You have courage. I'll take those records you found. Thank you, young man. That move was a token of my appreciation. We were fated.
This mysterious woman also wants to find the whereabouts. No. No, no matter what she wants to do with the fugitive, she must not be allowed. I have to pick up the...
And that's the end? There's nothing else in the that Jingliu seems pretty dangerous. The Stellaron crisis sure has a shouldn't we hand this over to Qing Yuan as soon?
Time for a break. Silent mode activated.
What is your purpose for
Without a doubt. This Jade Tracer belongs to Yanqing. You already accessed the recordings?
She accidentally...
No harm done. She was my mentor and my superior when I was a member of the Cloud Knights. However, if you see her, be sure to keep your distance and notify me. He took on the charge of pursuing a major criminal. It is not my place to impede him for fear of his well-being. I do have confidence in him. Forgive me. Thank you again for your help, friends from the Express. I hope to be able to drink and talk freely with you once again.
I heard you're not a bad fighter. Can you teach me some...
May I ask?
Till we make it the day to celebrate. I'll be waiting till we make it. Oh,
Upend the ancient sea and return to old ground. It's a letter for Dan Heng. But who is it from?
Come with me, take the journey.
Wow, you're finally back! And just in time for the Express's grand spring cleaning. Have you ever heard of a Washtopia? It's a place where space vehicles can stop to rest. There are plenty of them throughout the universe. They're close enough together that you can travel between them without even activating a warp device. Washtopias only clean the exterior of the train, and they do a great job too. However, the seats, rooms, windows, all the nooks and crannies inside the Express, we have to do those ourselves. Since you only just got back, why not take a little rest and chat with the crew? Once you're... Okay, I'll...
Come with me, take the journey. We will see.
Heave ho! Heave ho! Pom-Pom's been cleaning up this whole time and... What? Don't scare Pom-Pom like that! Why are there always strange things sneaking onto our train? Pom-Pom is going to upgrade the security level around here. What does the letter say? It looks like an invitation. Who could have sent it? Does Dan Heng have any friends on the Law Fu? If Pom-Pom remembers correctly, he said he was exiled from there, right?
I highly doubt Dan Heng is enemy.
Why don't you show Dan Heng the letter? You know where to find him.
What is it?
I'll be waiting till we make it the day to celebrate.
There's no signature. And it doesn't matter. Unfortunately, I'm going to disappoint. The handwriting does seem like that of a sword master, but it's an invitation, all right. Let me hold on to the letter. Anything?
We will see. Come with me, take the journey.
Just as I thought. There was more than met the eye. But if he didn't send the letter, then who... Maybe I should make a trip to the Cedar to find...
I'll be waiting till we make it. We will see. Come with me, take the journey. We will see. Come with me, take the journey.
After all this time away from the Luofu, the seat of divine foresight has only become more hostile. It's quite reassuring. Relax. You needn't be so cautious, young man. I'm just reminiscing about the old... However, I never thought Jingliu would send you to accompany me. It would seem our fates are intertwined.
Huh? I've got my work cut out for me today. Well, if it isn't Dan Heng.
Greetings. I need...
Looking for compensation for the injuries I gave you? I accept full responsibility. They can deduct my next 100 years' salary if they like.
The Cloud Knights were doing their duty.
You came at a bad time. The General is busy with urgent work. You probably won't be able to meet with him today. But he did leave a message. Dan Heng.
I can't say that I know her, but she does look...
You don't remember her? I see. That is Jingliu, the previous sword champion of the Xianzhou Luofu. She was the closest friend of Imbibitor Lune, your previous incarnation. She was also the General's master. According to records of wars past, her blade has slain countless denizens of abundance. Not even the feather guards of the Wingweaver, the father wolf of the Borazon, or the gigantic mecha beast could withstand a single strike from her. However, those are ancient stories. It's a shame that even a hero like her wasn't able to break free of Mara. It is said that in the end, Jingliu lost her sanity and slaughtered anyone in sight. With her powers, you'd think there would be no one capable of bringing her in. For some reason, she arrived on the Luofu with a suspect disguised as a traveling merchant and said she wanted to turn herself in. Her surrender came with one condition: that she be allowed a day of freedom before the trial. She wanted to travel to Scale Gorge Waterscape and meet with her old friends one last time. Before he left, he ordered us to accompany Jingliu during her last day on the Luofu. We're hosting an honored guest. We're escorting a criminal.
Imbibitor Lune, you're here. Since you traveled all this way, why don't you come and talk with me? Or should I call you by your name in this lifetime? Dan Heng.
Master Dan Heng. She's asking for you specifically.
Be careful.
When I left the Xianzhou, I heard they took away your scales and horns, forced you into a hatching rebirth, and detained you in the shackling prison. I thought Imbibitor Lune had been wiped from this world, but then I returned to the Luofu and watched.
The life of Imbibitor Lune ended. I stand before you, a completely different person.
I understand. The sins of a past life should be forgiven after rebirth. Now if my guess is correct, the Preceptors were unwilling to allow the Ichor line to end, and hoped for the Imbibitor Lune's resurrection. That is why.
Imbibitor Lune's actions affected many.
I, too, am a criminal. I returned to the Luofu so I could surrender myself to the Alliance. I did, however, have one request before the trial. I asked to be given a single day. Jingliu has always been an understanding.
So...
The sea's depths conceal no stone, and dragons' breaths reveal the moon. The scenery of Scale Gorge Waterscape is truly as magnificent as the poems describe. But as a suspect, shouldn't I be bound and interrogated in the shackling prison? Is it really appropriate to bring me to a place like this, General?
Holding you in the shackling prison would be more trouble than it's worth. For security purposes, we will be performing your trial here.
For security purposes? I suppose it's not my security you're talking about.
The Stellaron's descent, the Ambrosial Arbor's resurrection, the Destruction Emanator's impersonation of the Amicassator. According to the Skyfaring Commission's investigations, you arrived on the Luofu with a group of merchants, but didn't make a single trade during your stay. Your departure coincided with the day the calamities took place. You took advantage of the chaos to sneak into the shackling prison, but seemingly took no course of action. Now you claim that you are responsible for the Stellaron crisis and wish to surrender yourself. Your behavior truly is puzzling. I can't seem to piece together your motive.
I was asked to deliver a token in my capacity as a traveling merchant. I knew nothing of its significance. I admit I did have my own agenda for entering the shackling prison, but in the end, I found that the Luofu did not... It is through fear of punishment that I am choosing to surrender. The galaxy is a vast place, but I am merely a wanderer. It would be silly of me to think that I could outrun the Alliance.
Merely a wanderer? You're too modest, Locha. Do I need to remind you of your actions at the Eternity Fortress and the Shroud Veil Star Zone? Or must I utter that tongue-twister of a name?
Well, they don't call you the Divine Foresight for nothing, General.
You flatter me. Fortunately, I did my research, or this conversation...
Seeing that you sense something is amiss, are you looking to defend me and clear my name?
That is beyond my control. Attempting to undermine the Alliance is a grave crime. According to protocol, you are to be held on the Xianzhou Shuling for a joint trial before the 10 Lords Commission and the 7 Arbiter Generals. However, at present, you have the opportunity to enjoy the beautiful scenery of Scale Gorge Waterscape. It will be the last view of the Luofu you ever lay eyes on.
She told me that the High Cloud Quintet once gathered and feasted here hundreds of years ago. The unparalleled sword techniques of your master, the mesmerizing cloud hymn magic of Imbibitor Lunae Dan Feng, the artful piloting skills of Bai Heng, the divine weapons crafted by the Juming artisan Yanqing, and the unmatched stratagem of the general. The 5 of you vanquished evil from the world, creating legendary tales in your wake. Unfortunately, nothing lasts forever. You removed me from the shackling prison and decided to interrogate me here. But not for security purposes. You wish to discuss the one person you've avoided mentioning up to now. Your master, Jingliu.
We can head out now. I would like to visit a...
Have you mistaken yourself for a tourist?
I would make a wonderful tourist. Lower your guard, young man. I have already surrendered myself to the Alliance, And Imbibitor Lunae, you must accompany me. I won't take no for an answer, regardless of whether you're still interested in your...
Lead the way.
Where should we start? Should we go to Stargazer Navalia first? Or to... So many memories are swirling inside my head. I can't get a grasp on any of them. When the people of the Xianzhou live to be more than 1,000 years old, each day is like carrying the weight of a mountain through an interminable maze.
How hard is it to choose a destination? We're going to Stargazer Navalia. Problem solved.
The young are the antidote. Stargazer Navalia it is.
If it's star skiffs you wanted to see, we could have headed to the Jade Gate. Why did we come all the way here?
Young man, have you ever heard of Baiheng, the Foxian pilot?
Baiheng? I think...
Let the noble High Elder drown the enemies in rain. We just need a watch from the sky, I presume?
Imbibitor Lunae, if memories are returned.
I think... she was one of Imbibitor Lunae's comrades.
She was a comrade and friend to both Well, that's all in the past now.
Huh? You mean the Foxian soul-soothing ceremony?
Yes, the sending off of a star skiff. It represents the voyage of the deceased into the stars. As for procuring a star skiff, I know they can be manufactured here.
I see. Follow me. I don't know anything about manufacturing star skiffs either. But getting these machines to work shouldn't be too careful. There's still Stellaron spirits lurking around.
Lend me your strength.
A will forged in ice never falters!
Blade of Moonlight.
Steady. Right! Investing in victory means playing the long game!
Who goes there?
In lunar flame. Blade of Moonlight.
Lend me your strength. To guard and defend. Crush them.
We've arrived. All ship production in Stargazer Navalia starts here. Just enter the command into the device. The vessel used to cultivate starskiff seeds will be activated, and a ship will appear in the skyport soon after. I remember now. I've seen Baiheng's name in books before.
You like to read?
Hey, I don't read much, but the General forced me to finish a bunch of ancient volumes during my training. I remember one called Views of the Universe from a Star Skiff. The author's name was Bai Hung.
That's right. Bai Hung was the one who wrote that travelogue.
It was actually really interesting. 90% of it was about starskiff crashes on different worlds and dangerous situations. It also had records of local species and ecosystems. I remember thinking, how could an ace pilot crash land her starskiff so many times? Then I realized that every time, she made the best of the situation and got back alive.
Indeed. Her luck always astonished us. Whenever she piloted a mission, you could almost guarantee a narrow escape from the jaws of some abundance behemoth, or a miraculous return from behind enemy lines. Very few starskiffs she piloted were able to return to port in one piece. The folks at the Skyfaring Commission secretly referred to her as the Starskiff Killer. She also possessed an uncanny ability to predict future events, inauspicious ones at least. Every ill omen that came out of her mouth would sure enough come true. Very few Cloud Knights had the courage to accompany her on missions. However, when it came to surviving, her fortunes were incredible. Even in the worst situations imaginable, she was always able to turn the tide. Luck is a type of strength, after all. I hope that this ship, built for the Starskiff Killer, will also be able to return to the stars.
Ha! That'll do it. The Starskiff assembly line has been activated. The Starskiff will take shape and enter the skyport. Let's go wait for it there. It won't be long.
Thank you, young.
See, the Starskiff is complete.
After being away from the Luofu for so long, I can finally say farewell to you.
So, what happened to Bai Hung in the end?
In the end, I do not think the details are necessary. We are here today to commemorate her. Imbibitor Lune, do you still remember the battle against Shuhu?
Did...
Yes, the High Elder was held in higher regard. The Cloud Knights became wary after learning of Danfeng's imminent arrival. General Tang Xiao called for me to guarantee the safety of the troop, but Bai Hung didn't care about any of that. She believed that the High Elder was mortal, and no different from the soldier next to her. Let me refresh your memory. During that battle, Bai Hung, being the headstrong girl that she was, managed to exhaust the luck that was bestowed upon her by the Rainbow Arbiter. She charged ahead and shattered the enemy's defenses, allowing the Xianzhou soldiers to break through Shuhu's sanguinary abyss and awaken you from your dragon's delirium. She was not able to walk out of that fight. We all shoulder a debt that we will never be able for the Cloud Knights. Giving up one's life on the battlefield, you couldn't accept that Bai Hung was gone. Instead of leaving her to eternal There is no need to respond, Imbibitor Lune. Your answer is no longer. Bai Hung, I've brought your flagon. This was a gift handmade by him. Though he never I'm sorry it took so long for me to find it. Only by bringing it to you will my nightmares. I will fulfill what you asked of me. I will keep my word. Let's go. The Artisanship Commission is next. Since the Arbor's resurrection, the land has been crawling with abominations. Even...
The crisis happened too suddenly. All the craftsmen and apprentices fled. Only a single master craftsman was left to hold the line until reinforcements arrived.
Interesting. Stubborn beyond valuing his own life. That reminds me of an extremely arrogant acquaintance.
What's that supposed to mean? What's wrong with saving your own life and waiting for the Cloud Knights to arrive?
And yet where were the Cloud Knights when danger was at the door? From what I heard,
the Luofu's delves are big places. Besides, some of the troops were deployed to the Yanqing's campaign. The Cloud Knights were spread thin. It was impossible to guard everywhere.
Young man, why don't we continue our previous contest? Show me where...
You just want me to do all the work. You think I'm gonna grant endless requests for a criminal?
You go on ahead this time. We'll meet up at the Creation Furnace.
Why did you send him away?
It is of no importance. But you and I haven't had a decent contest in ages.
I don't plan on fighting.
I'm not asking you to point your spear at me. Could it be that the abominations here aren't enough to motivate you? Even after your rebirth, your moves and techniques haven't changed one bit.
When I move, it's like
you never forgot.
Go Navi!
Come on already. What took you so long?
Don't get anxious, Imbibitor Lune. We have all the time in the world.
Can't be.
The moon shines on the truth. This spear still recognizes you as its master. Imbibitor Lune, do you know who crafted it for you?
It's been with me ever since my exile. I don't remember when I started wielding it.
Lend me your strength.
A miracle.
Is that all?
Liquidation! To guard and defend! Crush them!
A will forged in ice never falters!
Right! Investing in victory means playing the long game!
Lend me your strength.
Blade of moonlight. In lunar flame.
You can continue to convince yourself that you are merely the reincarnation of Danfeng and have nothing to do with his sins. But you cannot run from combat, Danheng. Your spearmanship is combat is like smelting, purging the impurities with burning flames, and those are the words of the one who made Cloudpiercer for you. Out of all of us, you were the closest to him. It was strange, really.
This spear is sharp enough to pierce dragon scales. Be careful, High Elder.
Yanqing.
You still, when he was but a child, he swore to take revenge on the abominations. That's what drove him to. When I first met him, he wasn't even as tall as my sword. But he was boasting about mastering all the crafts of the Artisanship Commission by the time he was 100 years old. At first, I wasn't too fond of his defiant nature. But when we met again, he was able to craft. Unfortunately, the Alliance would never allow a short-life species to run the Artisanship Commission.
You didn't go easy just so I would get here first, did you?
Of course not. Your technique must have improved so much that I simply...
So, are we here to commemorate your short-life species friend?
Eavesdropping is a bad habit. Besides, when did I ever say he was no longer in this world?
Even the cryocapsules wouldn't be able to extend the life expectancy of a short-life species for long. If he is still alive, he must...
He transformed into a long-life species?
Correct. Such are the twists of death. Some people are born with unparalleled foresight and exceptional intelligence. As smart as he was, he made the foolish attempt to use the flesh of the Abundance Emanator to aid Imbibitor Lunae in His stupidity turned him into a monster, cursed with immortality. His soul was shattered and became the evil that he hated.
For an old friend, you don't seem to have that much pity.
I gave him a second chance. Does that not count?
What did you do to him?
He should have been eternally jailed in the shackling prison for his crimes. But I took the shell that once held his soul and passed my sword techniques on to him. I let him die 100 deaths to remind him of the karma of his previous life. Afterward, I heard he was reborn and even gave him We've idled too long. Let's head to the Alchemy Commission.
As a follower of the Rainbow Arbiter, you have witnessed the catastrophe brought upon by the plague's author, General. Living beings turning into undying monsters, eventually used as sacrifices to the Abundance. What do you think should be done to put an end to it, General?
The Alliance follows the Rainbow Arbiter's edict to continue ridding the world of evil, so that one day Yaoshi might be vanquished and the cycle of life and death restored.
Under the auspices of the Rainbow Arbiter, the faithful Cloud Knights continue the hunt. Their devotion and sacrifices are indeed commendable, but their devotedness... Take me, for example. My powers originate from the Abundance, yet my goals are aligned with the Alliance. The Hunt is not the only faction in the universe that wants Yaoshe dead. It is natural for short-life species to yearn for immortality. That is expected of any intelligent life form. To want to eliminate these thoughts would be equivalent to killing an eon. Such a goal is so impossible as to be laughable. So, in order to sever Yaoshe's curse, one must look to the source. Your master happened upon a revelation and returned from the Mara. She has traveled many worlds and discovered...
I'm listening.
I apologize, General. I'm afraid the next move will have to be made on the Shu Ling.
As I expected. Your surrender is just the next step in your scheme. You wish to avail yourself of the Ten Lords' decree to enter Shu Ling and stand before the 6 generals, even the Marshal. That, and the purpose of the contents of your coffin.
General, you said it yourself. This is beyond your control. It is the law of the Alliance. We cannot...
Splendid, well done. This was a spectacular move.
You've changed, Jingliu. The man I knew would never have admitted he was bested.
Order's already been restored to the Alchemy Commission.
I heard the healer lady is capable of curing all diseases. I'm here for the same reason anyone. Patience, young man. We're not far from Scale Gorge Waterscape. The mission the
Dunhung? What a surprise! Are you not?
Miss Bailu. She's here.
Oh, I see. Are you here for your eyes?
My eyes are fine. I cover them to avoid seeing that which reminds me of the past and riles my inner demons. My thoughts have been disordered lately, and I experience...
Those symptoms don't sound like my... who cares? The healers of the Alchemy Commission don't get to pick and choose their patients. Give me your hand. We'll start by checking your pulse. You'll need to take some translucent worms so I can take a close... Your hand! It's freezing! Please wait. Your friend here has a very peculiar... her pulse is extremely faint. Normally...
There's no cure.
Let the healer make the professional diagnosis. Your friend's situation is unique. She looks healthy, but her hands are cold as ice. It feels like... I've never seen anything like it. With more research, I might be able...
Today's her last day on the Luofu.
What a shame. If she could stay for a few days, I'll do my best. No matter what I administer, she's gonna need... Come with me. I'll prescribe her some soul-returning vitality infusion. I won't cure her, but I'll... Wait! I'm sorry. Ever since the disciples of Sanctus Medicus were expelled... Dunhung, you mind coming with me to retrieve my medicine?
Are you in trouble, Dragon Lady?
No.
It's no bother. A little walk will do me good.
I can smell the herbs. It's around... Hey! Give me back my medicine! That thing runs so fast! Don't let it get away! There is an even bigger monster! When did so many creatures...
Allow me to eliminate these obstacles, Dragon Lady. Stand back. The chill of...
So this is why your hands are so cold!
Later, Moonlight.
This cold isn't something normal flesh could withstand.
To guard and defend! Crush them!
In lunar flame.
All right. Let me make sure nothing's missing. Excellent. The calming valerian and chi strengthening infusions are here. Let's head back. Never make a patient wait too long. Apologies again for the delay. This prescription won't cure you, but it will nourish your...
Very well. The fate of a long life.
You're Mara-struck? I don't see the symptoms in you at all. What with the incident on the Law Fu, I've treated a number of Mara-stricken patients recently. They all presented with signs of incoherence, delirium, or you don't seem to have any of that.
I made a deal that allowed me to retain what life I had left in me. I may be sane, but and yet I still have many unfulfilled wishes and plenty of unfinished business.
I see. So you've learned to live with your illness. I can't help much with issues of the spirit, but the medical records do mention that calming the mind is a way to heal the body. If you're able to forget about the past, there might be a chance for your symptoms to regress.
Really? How unfortunate. My hatred overshadows my other emotions. I chose to hold on to all I have left are the sword in my hand and my hatred of the past. If I thank you for your advice, Dragon Lady. Meeting you has, by the way, among those you've treated in recent days, did you know—
Bandages? That's a vague description, you know. I'm not sure. We get injured patients from all—
The person I'm inquiring about is tall, with a serious expression. He also carries a crude sword.
He must have suffered some kind of sword wound. He had a strong scent of blood. Though, from the way he behaved, it must have been fairly minor.
He's probably looking well then. It would seem that everything is in place. Take this man away. This does not involve him.
Yanqing.
And so, everyone is present. I never thought the High Cloud Quintet would be able to gather again in the same place after hundreds of years. If I remember correctly, the 5 of us made a promise here 7 centuries ago. We promised that no matter what happened, we would gather here together and share a drink. How sad that Scale Gorge waterscape remains empty while the world continues to turn. Some of us have been reborn, while others were denied death. Some have become criminals, while others can no longer fulfill their promises. And in the end, our friend. Soon, I will be shackled and tried. This will be the last you see of me. This is why I sent out the invitations before departing, hoping that everyone would be gathered here for my final farewell. Of 5 people, 3 must pay a price. Imbibitor Lunae, the chief culprit, chose to use the transmutation arcanum as a means of resurrection, begetting terrible transformation and great calamity in the process. He dishonored the name of the fallen, Yanqing, the accomplice, arrogant and oblivious, used the flesh of the Abundance Emanator to assist Imbibitor Lunae in his evil. He fell, becoming an immortal abomination. As for Jingliu, the sinner, she succumbed to Mara, slaughtered her people, and abandoned her oath. Now it is time we pay for what we have done. Dan Heng, you can never escape the shadow of Imbibitor Lunae. He is your origin, and his sins will accompany you in your path forward. Blade, what a fitting name. In the remainder of your infinite life, you will experience only murder and your own death, all the while pleading for a place to rest. This is the only way you are able to relinquish Yanqing's regrets. And I will face the punishment of the Alliance and suffer an eternal punishment before paying an even worse price. That is the only way to keep the memory of the pain of the past. High Cloud Quintet. It is time to say goodbye. A wineless gathering, accompanied by only sadness and bitterness. Jingyuan, is it not time you sent me to the Shuling?
The laws of the Alliance cannot be subject to change. Unfortunately, your next stop will be the Yuchi. I reported everything to the Marshal, and the Seer strategist just so happened to take an interest in the case. They set up a Deca-light reflection barrier in hopes of meeting the 2 of you beforehand.
Jingyuan, you haven't changed at all. But in the end, whether it be you, me, the Cloud Knights, or the generals of the Rainbow Arbiter, we are all just pawns in a game of the gods. I am sick and tired of treading on a predetermined path. No matter. I will deviate if you insist. But this does not change how things will end. Ultimately, I will stand on the side of victory.
Then I shall see this gamble through.
Wait. Jingliu, before you leave, you still owe me my due.
I have tried. Besides inflicting more wounds on your body, there is nothing else I can do for you. The immortality that you possess is not something that can be dealt with so easily. I am sure Destiny's Slave already told you that the swords of mortals are incapable of killing someone with the flesh of an emanator.
He did. But you still owe me the attempt.
I told you when I taught you the way of the sword. I am uninterested in drawing my blade against someone who does not long for life, who wants only to be slaughtered.
You will only draw against an opponent. Jingliu, allow me to repay you for your teachings.
Savor the moment. I will deliver you a brief moment of death. We were here once, 700 years ago. Laughing, sparring, and thinking about the future. Their faces still linger before my eyes, like a bygone dream. I thought those joyful days would flow indefinitely before us, like a Xianzhou lifetime. Yet, dreams will eventually fade like clouds from the sky.
A familiar feeling. Almost as if we've returned to my first sword lesson. You used the sword Yanqing crafted, and pierced, sliced, and impaled me time and time again. The swordplay used to slay our enemies of old is still engraved on this despicable shell. All I can do is watch my flesh become severed, healed, and restored. It's as if they're saying, Why did you and Imbibitor Lune commit such an unforgivable sin? I know that you have no interest in my answer, which is why I asked the question as you looked me straight in the eye. I've asked myself that same question infinite times. But why? Why is it that only the abominations can return time and time again? Why does someone like her have to be buried, burned to ash, and eventually forgotten? In the end, you unleashed the final piercing blow and left both me and the sword in the withered grave. The miraculous thing is that in my brief moment of death, like when we drank to drown our sorrows,
Imbibitor Lunae.
Once this gathering ends,
The Express won't be able to carry you forever. Your friends, all I did think about giving up on revenge and letting go of everything when I fled the Luofu years ago. However, as time passed, the memories of what I did when I was Mara-struck are deeply rooted. Since I am unable to maybe when I witness the fall of the abundance, you and Yanqing will find true release.
Dan Heng, the General wants me to forget about everything I saw today. I understand. These disputes are far too complicated for... I have some close friends of my own in the Cloud Knights. Will we... Goodbye for now, Dan Heng.
She's gone. All this must have seemed like a silly performance to someone newly reborn. But I am unable... Who you are is a question that only you can find the answer. Even if the Preceptor's interference... Yes. It has been a long day for you, Dan Heng.
She couldn't do it with her sword either. We have no choice but to continue the pursuit. This...
I will see it through.
Elio's script still requires you to stay alive. For now. I don't mind prolonging my vengeance. It might be...